All right, so we are live now, and I have my friend Ruth with me. Hey, Ruth.
Hi everyone.
All right,
Hey
so
Maya.
hey, Ruth, I wanted to bring you on here to show you this. I know I sent you the link and you weren't really able to open it, but yo, I mean, what this lady asks, her followers. I think she's very well followed. Um, and she says, what's the dumbest thing you ever did for a man, right? And then this post has like literally, look at this, 299 comments, 300 comments about some dumb stuff. Okay. Oh my goodness. I looked through this and I was shocked.
What
Um,
do you think the craziest comment you read on there?
well, let me see. I'll see if I can find it. But the craziest one I remember reading, because there are many, many more comments um than what I saw at first.
Okay.
The craziest thing I saw in here was she was like, I begged him to stay with me after he beat me.
Oh, I saw that one, I think.
And I was like, oh no, like, come on, women, we have to do better than this. We have to do so much better than this. We have to have higher self-esteems than this. So, but yeah, hey Tyrone. Tyrone is in the house. So let's read some of these comments. This girl, and some of these have like a lot of likes to it. Um, some girl said speak to him. Some girl said dealt with them. Okay. Someone said here, listen to it speak. Listen to it speak. What's the dumbest thing you ever did for a man? Listen to it speak. But anyway, uh,
Well, like that's the thing. Have you ever noticed that a lot of times men are looking for therapists and women? Like they literally use them as therapists and then just like move about their life.
yes, Ruth, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes, I do. I know what you mean. But I think she's trying to be. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a great interpretation of that comment about listening listening to it speak. That I have a feeling she means that she just listened to a man, like, because honestly, from my experience, men lie so much. It's like you might as well just not listen and just look at what they do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of our problems as women would go away if we simply just didn't listen to men and we just looked at their actions. That's it.
I agree completely.
That's my interpretation of that comment. And I still think it's really funny. Um Now let's look at this is one right here. This is like we get into some nitty-gritty sad stories right here. This woman says, I fought his side chick only to find out we were both side chicks because he had a whole wife we didn't know about. Girl. Mm-mm.
Crazy.
Girl, can you imagine fighting a woman over a man?
I think I've done that. Maya, you remember? Not physically.
Oh,
You
well,
remember? Yeah. So,
you fought Rand?
well, we didn't physically fight, but like the whole like bickering back, it was just so stupid thinking about it now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling this woman is referring to physically fighting.
No, I know she's referring to physically fighting, but in all honesty, like it's just absolutely ridiculous when two women fight over a man. Um, the man should make it clear on who they want. Like, just like thinking of it from like, you know, time and perspective. Like, women should never fight other women. Like, it's not our responsibility.
It's really not.
Period.
And I'll never physically fight another woman over a man.
Not, yeah, even
That'll,
like verbally, it's not worth it.
it's really not because men really like. when I think about men in general, I feel like they bring more problems for the most part, unless they are devoted to you and respect you and treat you really, really well. This is not worth all the drama and the problems.
Exactly. Because if they are devoted to you, they don't let that happen. They make it known that, like, hey, I'm with this person. It is what it is. Move on. That's it.
Okay, right. So let's get into some other nitty gritty stories. Here's another one said she paid $100 for Uber over a period of time, but it was on my dad's card. She said it was still dumb, but she don't have any regrets. Um, Another woman, this is very typical. I've seen this comment over and over again on this post. She gave an ex money. She said, never again, lesson learned, let them figure it out themselves. People never, ever, ever give a man money. Never, ever give a man money. That is a red flag, red flag, red flag. Um, nah, that's a no. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh no, somebody.
So,
Oh yeah,
Maya, would you have any advice? Like, let's say you're dating someone or seeing somebody and they come up with some type of sob story and they're asking if they can borrow like $100 for whatever sob story. Like, what would your response be to that?
if it's a woman, I'd give her the money.
No, if it's a man, you're seeing him, like you guys are dating. It's not
Oh,
the
I'm
very first.
seeing him. I
Yeah.
I couldn't do it because number one, I wouldn't be dating someone that would ever do that. Like if I had an inkling, like I remember one time, and for $100 is nothing, right? Like
Mm.
I remember I had a friend. I wasn't even dating him. I remember I had a friend. Well, mind you, this is in Egypt. This is an Arab country, right? And he would always travel to me so we could do rehearsals. You know, we would do like music rehearsals and stuff. And I would like, hey, like I can help you with like travel costs, he and I tried to give him money and he was like, no, I don't like that. And anytime we would go out, he would always pay for it. So I think I would feel more comfortable with a man who was like that. Like, even when you offer, he's like, no, I'm a man. Like, I handle it.
Yeah, I think most of us would feel more comfortable with a man like that. It's just like sometimes we end up in a scenario where whoever we're possibly seeing, and I usually think it's not that they don't necessarily need the money, or maybe they do, but they're also like testing us, and or they have devalued us, like when
I
they
would
do
say like
ask.
I would just be like, I don't have it. Like I just don't have it. And I do not have money to give to a man. And like I said, like when I think about the men that I've been, involved with over the long term, like they would never, I don't know, like they know better than that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if it's a friend, that's another hand. Like, if it's a friend, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if it's a friend, it's another thing. But if it's a guy you're dating, like it is a thing that comes up, and that's why so many women end up giving men money because there's always some type of like story behind it.
Right. Hmm.
Okay, let's look at some more comments.
Okay. So, some lady said, waste my valuable years. That's real. That's real. Ruth, that video that you sent me of Anna Bay, I think it called like Stingy Men Horror Stories or something. Let me see. Oh,
I think
it,
so.
it said real life horror stories
Um,
about cheap
why did I
men.
forget?
Hey, Nigel.
Yeah, horror story.
Nigel's here. Hey, Nigel, how's it going?
My phone's acting up. Yeah, something along.
Okay, so when I watched that video, I was kind of shocked at some of the stuff that I heard too. Um, Particularly, I wasn't really shocked because this is like really common, But a woman said, you know, she married a nice guy who was always talking about ambition, but that's all he was doing. He was only talking. Um, and you know, she was the one that was the career woman. She was the one that worked her butt off, saved enough so they could buy a house for both of them. And then they have children now, and then he doesn't want to work, he doesn't want to provide. So a lot of women get caught up into these situations. So when I saw this this comment where she's like, I wasted my valuable years, it's familiar with me. Like that story is very familiar, even though she didn't provide any details.
Well, she bought the house. That's a lot of details.
Oh well, yeah, but that's from the
in
Anna
there as
Bay.
well.
That's from the Anna Bay.
Oh, the one in the comments here. Okay.
Yeah, wait, where is it? How do I get it? Okay, let me see. Oh, this lady right here. She's like, I wasted my valuable years.
Okay. So, FBA Nigel says, I have an interesting question. Y'all ready?
Oh,
What's
okay.
your question?
Yeah, what's your question?
I guess we'll just wait for him to type it up so we can look at more comments in the meantime.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Let's see. Oh no, okay. This is a specific one too. She said she bought him a PS4 after he cheated. Ruth, do you know how much a PS4 is?
It's like $400, right?
It's $400.
Something along the lines. I have a brother.
Let me see. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's 400. It can be 450.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what? 400, like 300 to 450.
And that's not including any games because those games are ridiculously expensive as well.
How much do the games cost? That's crazy.
I think like $80 a game.
Nah, man. And so he can be on the game all day ignoring you? Nah, why would you do that? First of all, I can't really date nobody that play video games. I can't.
I think it all comes down to like self-worth. You know?
Right.
Like you buy it because like I don't like calling women desperate because I think everybody like longs and like yearns for like companionship, and so I don't think it's fair to say that, but like when you don't fully respect or love yourself, you will come off as, I guess, desperate, or you will do whatever you can to keep this other person because you don't want to lose the companionship.
I think companionship is a good key word, and it just shows that, if we women learn how to, be more comfortable by ourselves, then maybe we can get further. Oh no. Okay, this is Nigel's question, Ruth. Nigel says, "Do you well-to-do, successful sisters feel fear being with a white man, given their ability to secretly and insidiously perpetuate racism?"
What do you think?
Um, I'm not afraid. I'll just say I don't fear it. I don't prefer them, but I don't fear them. And if one does his job of being a protector and a provider and likes me enough to put me, first and treat me really well, then yeah, I'm not gonna not date him. But I don't really. I kind of keep when I date. I don't know. I kind of keep that stuff separate. Um, but I'm super pro black anyway, to where if I find out this person is a little, questionable when it comes to racism, I will put them in a category, and I won't give them that much access to me or I'll just, there's no way the relationship can advance past a certain stage or level if I have any inkling that man is like racist.
I'm the exact same way. Anybody, whether it's a man or a woman, like I cut people off so quickly. If they say the smallest thing that's like race related, like I'm so pro black. Even though people tell me my voice doesn't sound it, it's really weird that they would like associate those two. But no, I am incredibly pro black. Like I talk about this all the time. But like the saddest thing is it's not just white men. I feel like racism, especially against like in dating, I feel like even black men, you know, I think they might even be sometimes, depending, like it might be worse. Like I was talking to a friend the other day, some of the worst racism that I've ever experienced were from other black people, which is really sad. Like, for example, like if I go into a store, I went into the Apple store, I wanted to buy a laptop, and there was a black guy at the front. He was doing absolutely nothing. He saw me walk in and continued to do nothing, and then someone white walked in after me, and he went directly to that white person and started helping them. So you know what I did? I went and I complained, and when I went and complained, because I told the manager, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Mhm.
um I told the manager, this guy later on comes and apologizes and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you just didn't look like you were gonna buy anything." I don't know how somebody that's gonna buy something looks like. And he's black. And at the exact same Apple store, it happened to me 3 times. And it happened to my mom several times that she literally, we live in Pittsburgh, and so there's like 4 or 5 different Apple stores, but they're about like 30 minutes apart from each other. She literally drives 30 minutes out of her way to go to a further Apple store and like a completely all white area only because she knows that they will respect her there. And I feel like that's the same thing in dating. Like, even like in like receiving services, a lot of like black men, they objectify women or treat women or provide service based on their attraction to them. So it's
Mhm.
not just about like white men black, no, it's not about white men not doing that, because I've met white men. Because like if you knew me, and well, you know me, Maya, obviously, but like other people, I'm so pro black. Like I talk about it all the time, whether you're white, you're black, whatever, like because it affects my life so much. And I have like white friends, some that I've cut off because they just, you know, couldn't accept it, and then others who were who were interested in learning, and where they accepted me in every single way, where sometimes like men of my own race, I generally, you know, prefer people of color when I'm dating, but like sometimes it's a little bit easier, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah. So I hope this answers your question, Nigel. The answers, I mean, I hope they suffice because I know Ruth and I tend to be a little roundabout with our answers, trying to provide context.
Yeah, sorry about the long, the long.
Windedness. But okay, all right. So let's look at some more comments. So this is the comment, Ruth, that stood out the most to me, and I think it's a little worse. This woman says she begged a man to stay with her after he beat my ass. I think that's really sad. Um, but yeah.
It's
Uh,
terrible. But I understand, like, loneliness is debilitating. Like, it's just like when you have that deep longing of companionship, sometimes you can have the worst treatment on earth thinking this is the only person that wants to be with me, and you stay.
right. Another woman says the worst thing she ever did, the dumbest thing she ever did from him is go on dates with that species. She's like, did you know they expect coitus after food consumption? She uses this picture. This is hilarious. Um, oh goodness. She said she flew to Texas for 2 weeks. And somebody says, this girl, what's the dumbest thing you ever did? She said, I flew to Texas for 2 weeks. He said, well, did he pay for you? And the girl said, nope, paid for everything myself. Girl, no. Okay. And then this girl says actually the creator of the post, she says, I was 17 and I was dating a homeless 24-year-old and I snuck out and slept in his car with him so his broke homeless bestie A wouldn't be alone. I was 17, y'all. Don't judge me. Wow. My goodness. Mm-mm. Now this is interesting, Ruth. Now, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this? Someone says, quit my job when I was with my first husband because he didn't want me making more money. So embarrassing now.
That, I don't even know what to think. That's just another
Oh,
level of
crap.
insecurity.
Go back, go back. um, yeah, I think that's really for me, I think that's really interesting to think about. Because there are a lot of women I'm starting to rethink. I know I definitely want to maintain my independence in a relationship. However, like you kind of want to be taken care of, but it doesn't seem like she quit her job because that man was taking care of her. It seems like she quit that job because that man wasn't making as much.
Because he was insecure.
Right. And if someone says here, it's like, oh wow, that's that fragile masculinity.
Yep.
And then another woman says a lot of women have quit their job so their man's ego wouldn't be bruised. Don't feel bad.
I would never do that
Right. Another woman
unless
said,
they're like
mhm.
giving me a substantial amount of money that I can put in my bank account.
Girl. Oh, Ruth, you have a question. Nigel sent in a question for you.
I'm originally from Tanzania. It's southern East Africa.
Gotcha. Another woman says she gave him money while being his side chick. Girl, what is y'all doing? Mm-mm. So actually, I have a story myself. It's not of me though. Um, but I have a friend. She used to be friends with me um, when I was in college, and there was this guy who was a convict. You know, my university had like a prisoner education program where they would take on some people in prison and allow them to get degrees from my university. This man was tall. He was pretty attractive. And he just had a lot of options. A lot of guys wanted to talk to him. Sorry, a lot of girls wanted to talk to him, and one of the people that wanted to talk to him was my friend, and she got all caught up. She was a virgin. She let this man take her virginity, and you know, 6, 7 years later, he reaches out to me on Facebook. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so bad about what I've done to your friend. I can't find her anymore, and I don't even know where she is. She like disappeared because this man like dogged her out so bad. I guess she was embarrassed because everybody knew they were together and stuff. Um, and come to find out, she stayed with him for like at least 2 years. And he cheated. He told me himself, he told me that he cheated on her with like 17 different people.
Oh
That
my
I mean,
goodness.
he cheated on her with 17 different people. She used to ride the bus to the prison because he got locked up again, even though, he was so close to getting his degree from this university. He went back to jail. And she, would visit him. She would take a bus for 6 hours almost every week to visit him. And he said she put so much money on his card, like on the phone on the calling cards. So
Uh-huh.
1 second. Would you?
Maya, I can't hear you at all.
Read some of these comments. 1 second.
Okay. Went and would be in this guy's mama's crib with him. I was 17 and he was a grown ass man. Interesting. I really think, honestly, that a lot of women, we sometimes just don't understand our worth and we're not taught our worth. We're not taught to not accept certain behaviors, and this whole like need of companionship is what leads us to make such crazy decisions. Um, I can't really move the screen because I don't have access on my end. So I guess we'll just wait for Maya a bit, like a minute or so. So, I guess to the people in the chat, what are some crazy things women have done for you or for women? What are some crazy things that you have done for men, and have you learned from these things, or do you still continue to do them? It'd be interesting to know. Okay, I'm so glad you came back, Maya. I just don't know how to lead like a YouTube thing. This is why I don't have this is why I don't have a channel. So I did read the one comment. Once, yeah, that one. So let's go on.
This is sad. She said went well out of my way to track down some limited edition Jordans and pay double the price to get them because he said he liked them. She was like, this man wasn't even my man like that.
You know what's interesting about these comments? It would be nice to know what the men did for these women, just in general, that would like guess persuade these women to do the same thing. Like, do they just naturally do it, or did they receive similar treatment and think, okay, I need to do this for my partner because he does so much for me?
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Ah, goodness. Ooh, she said gave
Oh, so they gave him $3,000. So crazy.
that is really crazy. Ruth, what is this?
I'm telling you, loneliness can convince people to do the stupidest things because the promise of commitment, that's what it is. They're hoping for that promise of commitment. Not just they, like just people in general.
But I'm telling you, like, if you do this, the likelihood of them committing goes down so much.
I know, but like we don't really think about that logically in the process. We think, okay, if we go above and beyond for this person, they're just going to realize how amazing I am and want to be with me, when it's the complete opposite because they see how little we value ourselves.
Ooh, Ruth, say that again for the people in the back.
They see how little we value ourselves.
Hmm. Yep. Oh my goodness. Someone says married and had kids with him, held him down through 2 prison bids after he beat my A while I was pregnant. I had the devil on me. Girl, girl, girl. No.
These are
No. No, 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 no. This is horrible. Who is this person? That's so sad. No one should ever have to go through that.
you're just like exposing their
I'm sorry, I know. That wasn't good, but I just wanted to see what she looked like. She's so beautiful. Like, she doesn't have to. That woman was way too
it's
beautiful.
honestly, sometimes it really is just not about looks. It's just about filling a void. And when you don't realize, like, again, your value, you might not realize that you can leave and get better out there.
Girl, This is horrible. And then one woman says she gave him $200 at the start of the pandemic because he was struggling and his businesses were failing. Last month he ghosted me because they started failing even more. No, they're probably doing a little bit better. What you
Or
mean?
he's probably with someone
But
that
what is
he's
two hundred
using.
dollars going to do to save a business? $200 cannot save a business.
No. Like I said earlier, I think men test women that they're not that into. Like I really just think ultimately it's about them not being that into it. These women.
Of
And
course.
so they test like what can I get
Oh wait, say that again. They test what?
what they can get out of the women that they're not that into.
Right, right. So here we
It's
go. This
pathetic though, honestly.
um, I'm actually gonna like this page. It says the Pick Me Chronicles. I want to see. Actually, this sounds like some Pick Me stuff. The Pick Me, actually, nah. I'll look at it later. The Pick Me Chronicles. One second. This woman says she sat on his front porch waiting for him to come home from a party. The sun rose and all. Girl. Oh no. Oh
Crazy.
no. Oh no. And then look at this lady. Girl.
I want to know what ever write it down. I don't know how she can beat everybody.
You know it had to be bad. Because after we just read through some crazy stuff. We read through someone giving a man $3,000. We read through a woman staying with a man after he beat her. We read through a woman having 2 kids and marrying a man after going to prison twice and after beating her. I mean, you know what she had to do had to be really bad.
I can't even imagine what it would be, honestly.
And she's like, I'm embarrassed. Girl. Oh, look at this one. This lady, this lady said she paid his car note. Meanwhile, he was driving it around, riding. Yeah, he was riding around other women and cheating on her while he was paying the car note.
That's ridiculous. That's terrible. See, and he clearly, an example, he clearly was using her. Do you think he would be with her if she wasn't paying for that? Basically, she was paying him to be with her.
Definitely not. Definitely.
Insane.
And you know, that's what a lot of women don't realize. Like they are doing that. You know, they are paying men to be with them.
To be with them.
Yeah.
When like women, like we have so much more to offer, like which is just ridiculous that so many of us don't realize our worth for so long.
Right. Right. So this is crazy. This is so crazy. Girl.
Accidentally dated a whole cokehead who assaulted and kidnapped me in front of my kids. He's in jail now, though. Oh my goodness.
I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say.
Well, she didn't tell us the whole story. She said accidentally, so that means she didn't know at the beginning. Did she continue to date him after she found out?
Okay, ready for this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm almost ashamed to tell mine, girl. I moved to Texas for this soldier. I just knew he was the one. Packed up my son and moved across the country and moved in with him where I had no family, no friends, no support from anyone but him. Get there and there's a chick living there with a kid of her own who he claims is his roommate. My dumbass believed him. He basically had me there as a prisoner. One day, after confronting him about his relationship with the girl, he laid it out that he loved her and he decided to raise her daughter as his own. I lost it and cleaned the entire apartment. What? And cleaned the entire apartment with his toothbrush. Oh my God. What? Why would you do? Never mind. Calmly packed all my stuff and sent it off and bought a plane ticket for me and my son to go back to Tennessee the next day. I smashed out his windows with a can of yams. Definitely a low point for me. Girl. Girl. At least she wasn't too far away. Tennessee and Texas is like crazy far.
How would she not know?
Girl.
Yeah, but how would she not know that this guy had romantic interests for this other woman? Clearly, the other woman probably wasn't interested in him. Otherwise, she would have seen the affection. But, like, you know, like, women always know.
This is so sad. Like, and they be around these men. They just like spend time around them. This woman says she let him destroy my I let him destroy my property, forgive him for hurting me and my dog, pawn and sell my stuff for drugs, steal my money and throw food at me. This man did all of this to her.
Oh,
This man destroyed her property, hurt her and her dog, pawned and sold her stuff for drugs, stole money from her and threw food at her.
I think she wins.
No, girl.
That is just absolutely insane. Like everything else, like here's the thing though. Everything else that she said, I could kind of be like, okay, whatever. But the throwing food in someone's face, like that's another level of disrespect. I've like not even seeing someone as human. That's so disgusting.
What, the throwing food at her part?
Yeah. Like how do you throw food at a human being?
I
Like
think eating, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's the worst that I've seen. I mean, beating
I
some
just think that's the lowest level of disrespect.
girl, this is insane. We need a wake up call. We can go on and on. This post is so long, but let me see if I can find any. She said, I let him call me a B in front of other people because it was supposed to be a term of endearment. He would be like, this my B. I was around 17 too. A few other dumb moments as well. Aww. That's so sad.
I I would love to get like a man's perspective on all of this. If there's any men in the chat and you have something to add, because like, what do you think?
What do I think about what?
No, I'm saying this is my question to the men in the chat. Like, I would love to get their perspective on all of this stuff because, like, obviously to us it's just ridiculous. It's insane. Um, like, why do men do these things? Because I'm thinking it's just they're not that into these women, but maybe there's other reasons. Anybody would like to add? Since we are live.
I think it's sexism. I think it's misogyny. I think it is men oftentimes secretly resent women. I think it's also because women allow them to do it to them. And I just think men are trash. Like they're just trash. Like I mean, there's a reason that men are the main perpetrators of war, rape, crime, murders. There's a reason for that, right? I don't know. It's I don't know. I think it's multiple reasons, but we'll see if someone answers. Someone said
Okay.
I wasted 10 years with someone who ultimately didn't choose me in the end, and it hurt because he was the only man I really loved. I left him alone, grew up, and learned enough from my mistakes to not make them twice. They say your 20s are for mistakes. She says, F that. Ladies in your 20s, please go have fun, be beautiful, build lasting relationships with like minded girls, plan for your future. Don't get wrapped up in one person because the way the world is set up today, it can determine what happens from here on out. Yeah. definitely 10 years is a long time to be on one person. Good lord.
I think 6 months is a long time without a proper commitment.
For real. No, 6 months. Nah, forget 6 months. I'm low. Like you said before. What did you say?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months is my age. 2 months.
Everybody
But
was
like I was
like,
trying to be a little bit more conservative.
everybody was like, Ruth not playing. Like, that was hilarious. That was so funny. All right, let's see. She says, I gave 7 years of my life to him and I still be messing with him sometimes, so I'm still doing dumb stuff. Goodness. Oh no. We need to do so much better. Okay, let's see. Oh,
Oh, did you ever watch that show, The Real?
I think so. Yeah, the women. It's the women talk show host show.
Yeah. So you know Tamar Braxton, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So for years, she wore blonde wigs for years, maybe like more than a decade, because Vince liked white women. How crazy is that?
Why didn't you just find someone that
Vince, her husband.
that's the thing, like why don't you just find someone who appreciates your I don't know, man. I
Because
don't
finally, after they got divorced, she like shaved her hair off and she's like, I feel free. That is just the worst thing you can put yourself through. But let's continue with the comments.
Whew, child. Okay. This woman says, and this is the same woman that posted, she's just revealing what she's been doing. She says, I remember I stayed with a guy who would let his white mom call me the N-word, a black slave, whore, sluts, and made fun of my deceased mom. Crazy thing is my ex was half black. So this white woman who had a half black child over here calling black people the N-word and slaves and stuff. This
Wow.
woman says, "Oh, they love being racial. They love being racist with biracial children. They think their kids are exempt, only for them to grow up in anti-black and completely whitewashed." You know what?
Okay. Oh, wow. That's a long one.
Yeah. I
It
don't know.
doesn't even look like it's supposed to be.
Oh no. What? You know what? I'm not reading that.
No, it's just ridiculous. I skimmed through it and I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm
that
not.
woman needs to be a therapist.
Bruce,
Did you read the last part? She says the cops are killing black men except for the one you want killed. Did you read that?
where? Right here?
It's yeah. Um, Cops love killing unarmed black men until the one time you wish they would. Like that's like crazy stuff.
Yeah, that person is dealing with some cognitive dissonance. Oh no, this is sad. Left my cousin's wedding early, where I was the bridesmaid, to go see him in the hospital, only to see the girl he was cheating with got there first. And then some fool said pull the plug. I'm done.
Honestly, just step over it by accident and move on, you know.
This is horrible. This is so oh my goodness, this is crazy. Oh my god. Okay, girl. Maybe we should make a follow-up video. Um, we'll,
Yeah.
we'll continue this later. Whew.
Okay.
But oh no. Oh my gosh. Some of this stuff is crazy. Oh, some woman says she let him ruin my 720 credit score. Don't you ever let no. Goodness gracious. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, why are these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful women? Like, look how beautiful this person is. Like, why?
It's that need for companionship. Do you think men start off with these behaviors, or do you think they let the women become comfortable and then start behaving that way?
I just think it's women set the dynamic. Like I think a lot of women are very desperate for like because they think men are supposed to give them love. I think a lot of them are very desperate for that type of connection, and so they'll do anything. And I just think women are very maternal, so like they don't do a good job of setting the type of dynamic where the man respects them. I think women should definitely. I've definitely realized that once I became just a little bit more mean, I just became meaner and a little bit more selfish. I got like the best treatment, like when you really don't care. But yeah, when you don't care about them, that's someone they treat you really well. So women out here really caring.
I agree with you. When I'm mean to men, they will not leave me alone. When I'm nice, which sucks because I'm usually nice to the guys that I like, it's the complete opposite.
Right? Definitely. So yeah, girl, that's what it is. I'm gonna go read through these, and maybe I'll make a video with some screenshots. Girl, yeah, that's
I
what I do.
that one though that said, what's it called? So if you end up finding it, that she has the worst out of all of the ones we've read. I would love to know her story if you end up finding it.
Some girl says she quit her job that paid twice as much as his and relocated across 4 states and married him. Girl, it's like what they be doing. Like this woman, super beautiful. She says she paid his rent. And another one she said, so right here she said, I paid his rent. That's the dumbest thing she ever did for a man. Another one here, she said she let 2 exes live with me, let an ex use my car as his while he was what? Oh, okay. She
Well,
let
his was like
let one borrow eight
for a
hundred.
month.
I just be doing too damn much in the past, girl. She was so pretty, like,
That
what?
is way too much.
And a lot of men will only. And here's another thing I've noticed: a lot of men will only deal with women who they can use. So like these women will do these things, and like the men will keep coming back and they think the man's coming back because the man actually cares about them, and it's just not true. Like the man just wants to get more stuff, wants to use you more. So
Like,
but anyway, girl, we can discuss this later. This was pretty traumatizing to go over. But yeah, we'll come up with a more
oh,
structured approach to this conversation.
okay.
All right.
Well, it was nice talking about this topic. Until next time,
Okay.
make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I'm trying to be a YouTuber here. Like, subscribe, and what is the third thing that they say?
Comment.
Comments. Okay, until next time. Bye.
Hey, Ruth, you need to get your channel up. So get your channel up. Get your channel up.
My Maya, the 1 minute you were gone, I had no idea what to say. I'm just not a charismatic type of person.
Oh my goodness. Ruth, you need to get your channel up. It doesn't matter. There are people on here. You're doing it with me right now. Like, if I need to go over there and do interviews with you, that's fine to get you into the groove. But you need to start something so we can start building up.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to
I
you later,
I
girl.
get more. Okay.
See ya.
Bye,
Hey, Jonathan.
everybody.
See you, Jonathan. Bye.